بكم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. قالوا يا موسى إن فيها قوما جبارين وإنا لن ندخلها حتى يخرجوا منها فإن يخرجوا منها فإنا داخلون. قال رجلان من الذين يخافون أنعم الله عليهم ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه فإنكم غالبون وعلى الله فتوكلوا إن كنتم مؤمنين. قالوا يا موسى إنا لن ندخلها أبدا ما داموا فيها فاذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنا هاهنا قاعدون. قال رب إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي فافرق بيننا وبين القوم الفاسقين. قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض فلا تأس على القوم الفاسقين. واتل عليهم نبأ ابني آدم بالحق إذ قربا قربانا فتقبل من أحدهما ولم يتقبل من الآخر قال لأقتلنك. قال إنما يتقبل الله من المتقين. لئن بسطت إلي يدك لتقتلني ما أنا بباسط يدي إليك لأقتلك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين. إني أريد أن تبوء بإثمي وإثمك فتكون من أصحاب النار وذلك جزاء الظالمين. فطوعت له نفسه قتل أخيه فقتله فأصبح من الخاسرين. فبعث الله غرابا يبحث في الأرض ليريه كيف يواري سوءة أخيه قال يا ويلتى أعجزت أن أكون مثل هذا الغراب فأواري سوءة أخي فأصبح من النادمين. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. As you listen to these ayat, including our message to the world, من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. This is the command of Allah Azza wa Jal to the children of Israel and to everyone. Whoever kills an innocent soul, it is as if he has killed all people. And whoever saved a soul, it is as if he saved all people. You never seen that except in the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Al-Quran. So our message today, save the children of Gaza, save the women of Gaza, save the men of Gaza. Human rights organization, if you are real organizations, do something. This is your opportunity to prove that you are real organizations, not fake organizations. Since October 7, 10,000 people have been killed. Since October 7, more than 24,000 have been injured. And most of them are children. Actually, every 10 moments, there is a child in Gaza who are killed. My message to them, if you think they are human, do something for them. If you think they are not human, I agree with you. To see a woman who says, kill as you wish, a Palestinian woman, kill as you wish, our wombs will continue to create heroes. They are not human. When you see a woman with the entire family are killed, smiling, saying Alhamdulillah, oh Allah, accept them as martyrs, they are not normal human. When you see an old woman with Palestinian accent saying الأرض أرضنا والعدو ماله شبر فيها، يا بيرحل عنها يا بيندفن فيها. This is our land and the enemies have no right here, whether they live or Gaza will be their grave.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
When you see a child who's injured, say to his dad, Oh dad, please be patient. Allah is going to support us. They are not normal child. They are not normal children.
Ceasefire now!
So the last message for you, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, you have this opportunity here to deliver their message. You have the freedom of speech. You can protest. 2 days ago, I called one of my friends in some Arab countries, and I asked him about the condition there and how people deal with this situation in Gaza. He refused to answer my question. Feeling that maybe the call is recorded. They have no right, in some Arab countries, they have no right to say a single word on Facebook or on Instagram or something. You have it here. So you are their voices. Say clearly, cease fire now.
Cease fire now!
Cease fire now.
Cease fire now!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Save the children of Gaza.
Save the children of Gaza!
Save the children of Gaza.
Save the children of Gaza!
Save the women of Gaza.
Save the women of Gaza!
Save the women of Gaza.
Save the women of Gaza!
Save the men of Gaza.
Save the men of Gaza!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir! 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 Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Cease fire now!
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 Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
Palestine will never die!
Palestine will never die!
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
Palestine will never die!
Palestine will never die!
Not a nickel, not a dime!
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 No more money for Israel's crime!
No more money for Israel's crime! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Our next guest speaker is our Imam, Sheikh Jafar from Masjid al-Hidayah. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who spared the time today to be here, to spend moments of supporting that which is right, supporting that which saves the human life. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for really spending time to say and to voice your concerns that we are here to save human lives. My dear brothers and sisters, wherever you came from, regardless who you are, whether you are a Muslim or you are a Jew or you are a Christian or maybe you are from a different faith, I know you are here today for one thing. You are calling our representatives, you are calling our governments, you are calling our representatives everywhere in the Congress and in the Senate. You are here to tell very loud and very clear to our governor that we need ceasefire now. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. My dear brothers and sisters, let it be clear. As you have heard in the verses that were recited a few minutes ago, in the comments that were done by Sheikh Mustafa, this is a very profound rule that Allah revealed to us. Look to the United States of America as a model of freedom and democracy. So where is this freedom and democracy? Freedom for whom? Selectively. And we were hundreds of thousands of people everywhere who are protesting and voicing their concerns that enough is enough. For how long we are going to wait? How many children need to be killed? How many women need to be killed? How many mosques need to be destroyed? How many hospitals need to be destroyed? And for how long? It is time that we need ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. I am sure many of you have children. Many of you have relatives, and you don't want your child to be harmed the least. How come we accept it to other people? What is this? What is this discrimination? This is a genocide. This is a genocide. This is a crimes against humanity that the Palestinians are suffering from. My dear brothers and sisters, today, think about it. What really makes someone kill these people and have no remorse? It's because they think of them, they are less than human beings. Even animals do have protections. Even animals do have societies for animals to protect them and defend them. What about human beings? We are going to be responsible in the face of history. We are witnesses. We are witnesses. We better stand with that which is right. The history will be recorded. Years from now, our children and our grandchildren are going to read that history. We would like the history of the United States of America, and we care about the United States of America. That's why we are here. We care about Gaza, we care about Palestinians, and we care about the United States of America. This is our society, and we care about it. But we want it to be standing with that which is right. We would like it to stand with that which is right. Now we have a chance. Now we have a chance to make a decision and push our authorities to make the right decision. Stand with that which is right. Cease fire now. 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 My dear brothers and sisters, make sure that these voices are being heard. Do whatever you can peacefully and legally to make sure these statements are being heard, to make sure that there is a move towards the right decision. So hopefully, by the will of God, by the will of Allah, by the help of the righteous people like yourselves, that things can be corrected. I would like in the future that the children of Gaza will remember that actually the United States of America changed its position, that the people in the United States of America stood with that which is right. That will bring a lot of hope in the minds and in the lives of those children. They will think positively about the United States of America. We would like them to think positively about the United States of America. We would like them to think that people like you stood up for them, that people like you went and protested and pushed for a change of position, to change from supporting Israel to kill innocent people, to change to support the people of Gaza so they can live and live with dignity, live freely, just like everybody else. They have the right to live free, just like everybody else. So Again, my message is very clear. We are here for one thing, and we are here for one thing, and we would like that thing to be done as soon as possible. Cease fire now.
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 Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Stop killing innocent children.
Stop killing innocent children.
Stop killing the people of Gaza.
Stop killing the people of Gaza.
Thank you so much. May Allah reward you for being here. Please make sure we adhere to the rules. Please be peaceful, and not only our behavior is peaceful, let's keep our mind and our hearts at peace as well, because if we have peace inside, there will be peace outside. I would like to emphasize on this point. If there will be peace inside, there will be peace outside, and we are people of peace, and we want peace to everyone, not just to some people, but to everyone. Thank you very much. Jazakumullahu khairan. Now we have Reverend Peter Cook, who is representing the Council of Churches, and he would like to share some words with you as well.
My name is Peter Cook, and I serve as Executive Director for the New York State Council of Churches. We represent 7,500 Protestant Christian congregations across this state. Not all of our congregations see the conflict in the Holy Land in the same way, but we all value in our council freedom of thought and expression, and we defend the right to speak and protest at all times.
Free Palestine.
We are, after all, Protestants. Embracing the spirit of freedom of thought and speech, I join members of our executive committee representing 9 Protestant denominations to be prophetic and bear witness to the truth that every person on this earth is created in the image of God. As Christians who embrace the incarnation, we see God in every human being. We also embrace the right for every person to speak their truth and have a life free from violence. And we are also here to testify against true Islamophobia, true anti-Semitism, and true anti-Christian thought. And we do that with intellectual rigor. And we decry any attempt by nationalist-inclined governments of Israel, of Arab states, and the United States of America, which distort our sacred texts to suppress speech and insulate themselves from criticism. So I'm here as a Christian to be present to our Muslim friends, to be in solidarity with you, and speak truth where over 10,000 Muslim and Christian Palestinians have been slaughtered as revenge for Hamas's despicable killing of 1,200 Israelis, most of whom we presume were Jewish. I am in grief here as a Christian. I'm here with my wife, Martha Butler, who was born in Sheikh Jarrah in East Jerusalem in 1963. We recently saw her home where she was born. She is the daughter of J. Richard Butler, who at the time was working for the National Council of Churches helping Palestinians who had been displaced from their homes by the ongoing Nakba, which began in 1946. My father-in-law went on to be the Middle East Secretary of the National Council of Churches. And I can tell you that if Richard were here today, his heart would be broken by the assault against Palestinians. But he would not be surprised, since the seeds for this violence were planted many years ago, long before October 7th. I also stand here to lift up the voice of Basil Faraj, who is a good friend, a young professor at Birzeit University on the West Bank, with whom my family spoke last weekend. Basil's father has spent more time in Israeli administrative detention than any other Palestinian. He testifies to the injustice of the Israeli government, but has particularly harsh words for the massive increase of incarceration of Palestinians since October 7th. And the worsening situation in these prisons where the Israeli government takes out their anger on those they incarcerate.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
I am also the relative of a Jewish man in the United States who is mad that his Jewish faith has been distorted by the Netanyahu government, by Israel, to justify this carnage. In a recent midrash at his synagogue, he quoted a Japanese proverb that says something to the effect that if you take revenge against your enemy, you must dig 2 graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself. As we gather to express our outrage at this massacre, I have a special word of criticism for some of my fellow Christians. One of these Christians the other day told me that some of his rabbi friends objected to Muslims in the capital region protesting because, in his view, Muslims seek the destruction of Jews in the Holy Land from the river to the sea. I fiercely objected and said he was distorting the words of our Muslim brothers and sisters and that phrase, and nobody wished the destruction of anyone from the river to the sea. What we're calling for is the freedom of people, all people, from the river to the sea. And I would add that Israelis also distort this phrase, where there are some who say that from the river to the sea we eliminate Palestinians engaged in ethnic cleansing and genocide, and of course that is also a distortion. My main problem, however, with my many Christian colleagues is their embrace of the highly anti-Semitic Christian Zionism. Christian Zionists prop up incorrectly and confuse incorrectly Israel, and they confuse the Israeli government with Judaism. And they support the Israeli government to further their racist agenda of gathering all Jews in one place, and when the end times come and Christ comes back to earth, all the Jews will be gathered in one place so that when they meet their demise, they will be sent to hell. while the righteous Christians there will go to heaven. This is called Christian millennialism, and it is the reason most of the Christian right so zealously defends Israeli military conquest to further consolidating of Jewish people in one place for their destruction. It's hypocritical, it's racist, and it's anti-Semitic. It's Islamic phobic because Muslims are decimated by this Christian millennialist, Christian Zionist agenda. And it's even anti-Christian because they distort the New Testament and seek destruction of Christian Palestinians when they object to Israeli violence and expansion. Indeed, Christian Palestinians have called on us as Western Christian Zionists, and their supporters to repent of their sins. So shame on our politicians who embrace this Christian right millennialist anti-Semitic stuff in the name of standing up against anti-Semitism. For shame on them. So for us as Christians, we embrace people of all faiths who speak against any nationalist project that distorts faith, that seeks to destroy people of other faiths or even our own faith. And we especially thank our Muslim friends today for being brave and refuse to be cowed by lifting up their voice for humanity. Because you see, as people of an Abrahamic faith, we decry any distortion of the Quran, the Torah, or the New Testament. We decry revenge-based killing and call for an immediate ceasefire now. Ceasefire now! And if you don't like the term ceasefire and you prefer the word pause, then I got an idea for you. How about a permanent pause in the bombing, shooting, incarceration, and land acquisition? We'll take it. Permanent pause. Permanent cessation. Killing Palestinians, denying them health care, water, food, taking their homes and incarcerating them will not bring back 1,200 dead Israelis. This will do nothing but strengthen the hand of Hamas, who will use this bombing by Israel to strengthen their political agenda and lay the groundwork for another killing spree. Revenge does not pay. So in the name of Allah, God, and Yahweh, stop the killing now so that we can create space for a just and lasting peace where the dignity and rights of people of all faiths are honored and respected in this contested land, that all may live together and be free. And remember the words of Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love."
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! MashaAllah, if you look around you, look at the support that is here today. The spirit here is strong. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Right now, on your phones, please share the Hidayah live stream or take your own live and share it as much as you can. We do know that there is shadow banning, but still keep sharing it. We are numbers strong here. Please share it on your social media handles, your Twitters, Facebook, wherever you can. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is an apartheid state. Free, free Palestine. 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 Not a nickel, not a dime. Not a nickel, not a dime. No more money for Israel's crimes. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Guys, I am here, I cannot hear you. Let alone the government. We need you to be loud. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! I couldn't hear you. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! No tax dollars! No tax dollars! For baby slaughter! For baby slaughter! No tax dollars! No tax dollars! For baby slaughter! For baby slaughter! Not a nickel, not a dime! Not a nickel, not a dime! No more money for Israel's crimes! No more money for Israel's crimes! La ilaha illallah! La ilaha illallah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! La ilaha illallah! La ilaha illallah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! La ilaha illallah! La ilaha illallah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! Astaghfirullah! 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 وأتوب إليه وأتوب إليه وأتوب إليه حسبي الله حسبي الله حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Not a nickel, not a dime! Not a nickel, not a dime! No more money for Israel's crime! No more money for Israel's crime! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire. Occupation now! Stop the occupation now! Stop the killing now! Stop the killing now! Stop the occupation now! Stop the occupation now! Stop the killing now! Stop the killing now! 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state. Israel is a terror state. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is an apartheid state. Free, free Palestine! 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 From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! La ilaha illallah! La ilaha illallah!
الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
Our next guest speaker is Dr. Alia from ICCD.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. To come after such strong speakers, I'm a little nervous, so I'm really going to need some help. Thank you. Now, first of all, I want to speak to our Palestinians here. Some of you I see right now, and I just want to let you know we love you and we know you. And we are going to be here for you for as long as it takes, but we're not stopping. This rally should be a start of something. This is not a rally that means something on its own if it doesn't start something. So is everybody here ready to start something? Yeah. You know, people forget. People get all excited. They want to do the right thing, but they forget. Today, as you know, is Veterans Day, right? Veterans Day used to be Armistice Day in 2011. I'm sorry, 1911. Pardon me. I told you I'm nervous. So, you know, this was when all war was going to stop because, you know, 15 million people died. But as late as the Iraq War, where a lot of brown people once again became collateral damage for a bomb that did not exist, we keep forgetting those lessons. We've forgotten that lesson today as people are dying in Gaza. So I just want to remind you, it's important to remember to stay focused on what we need to do next. I want to start asking now about who's here. Are there any elected representatives here? No. Is that true? Now that says something because you know, your tax dollars paid for that Middle East visit, right? We paid for it. And has anybody from the government asked you, how are you doing? No? Okay. Now this, right now we have an almost unprecedented rise in Islamophobia. All my hijabi sister here, love you. Thank you for being strong every day. I also want to let you, it is not as if that there is, we've got feedback? It is not as if that there is nobody who's checking on you. I want to take a moment actually to mention Attorney General Letitia James, who has reached out to our community, and she wants to give that message to all of you to say, if you see your rights being violated, if you see Islamophobia being used without somebody being held responsible, then please reach out to the Attorney General's office. Go online, there are ways to do it. Find me if you can't find out online on your own. I also want to say, you have, I'm sorry, do I have, oh, I have snot apparently. But thank you. Well, apparently it's cold enough that I have snot and I did not notice. I also want to take this moment to remind people that on Monday at 6 p.m., Albany legislature is going to have all these new legislators who have been recently elected come in for a meeting. Some of you I know are planning to be there. That's Albany legislature, Lodge Street. Try to see if you can make it there if you're an Albany County resident, right? Let your representatives know what it is like to know that your friends or family are dying and there is almost no reaction to it. Nobody has reached out. So make sure that you're there if you're an Albany County resident. Now I want to ask you, how many of you here are registered voters? Okay. How many of you know that your auntie is a registered voter? So go out there and register some voters because there's one thing you need to help our politicians with, which is help them find new jobs if they cannot be there to represent you. You are on a moral high ground. You are on the right side of history. You are only going to help your politicians if you can teach them to be on your side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Just a couple of administrative announcements. When you're on this side of the caution tape, you have the benefit of seeing the flood of Palestinian flags, slogans, some of which are very, very poignant. And for anyone that's here from the media, for any politicians that may be here, we want to draw attention to a couple of those. To my right, we have a few sisters that have brought pieces of cloth which list the names of every child in Gaza that has died to date. Look at that list and take the time to see the humanity of that list. The children that have been murdered mercilessly by the Israeli forces, they have a name, they have an identity, they have families. This is not in the name of self-defense. This is a genocide. There are also some amongst the crowd that have brought poignant pictures of dead children. As graphic as those images are, we will not allow ourselves to be censored. Look at those images. That is the reality of what Israel is doing in Gaza right now. Good one. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more.
Occupation no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terror state.
Israel is a terror state.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
Stop the occupation now.
Stop the occupation now.
Stop the genocide now.
Stop the genocide now.
No tax dollars.
No tax dollars.
For baby slaughters.
For baby slaughter.
No tax dollars.
No tax dollars.
For baby slaughter.
For baby slaughter.
Free, free Palestine.
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 Not a nickel, not a dime.
Not a nickel, not a dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
La ilaha illallah.
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 Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Hasbunallah.
Hasbunallah.
Wa ni'mal wakil.
Wa ni'mal wakil.
Ni'mal mawla.
Ni'mal mawla.
Wa ni'mal nasir.
Wa ni'mal nasir.
Hasbunallah.
Hasbunallah.
wa ni'mal wakil.
Wa ni'mal wakil.
Ni'mal mawla.
Ni'mal mawla.
wa ni'mal nasir.
Wa ni'mal nasir.
Astaghfirullah.
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 Wa atubu ilayh.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Some people may ask, this word Hasbunallah, do only the Muslims say it? The Arab Christians also say it. When they are reaching out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth, they are asking God Almighty to be sufficient for them. Hasbunallah. 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 Wa ni'mal wakil. Ni'mal mawla. Wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah. ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Alhamdulillah, we have a huge crowd that came out today. We have a lot of people on the sides. If you guys want to make room for them here in the middle, come closer, inshallah. I was asked to say a few words today, and I did not know what message is most pertinent. And so I reflected a bit. Echoing what Dr. Aliyah mentioned, what happens after this rally? Alhamdulillah, we came here with a lot of energy, a lot of support. What happens after this? A few messages to different segments of our community. Number one, to the youth and the young adults. You now have this energy surging through you. You have these feelings. You have this sadness and this anger. This is fuel for you to use. Don't let this die down. The attacks stop, a ceasefire happens, and we all go back to sleep. You're awake now. You have to use this energy. We have to use this energy and channel it in the proper way. Get active. Join your local masajid if you are not already a part of one. Be active. Be the best person you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We have to be representatives of Allah on this earth. Representatives to our deen, representatives to our cause. Do not let this feeling go away. Do not go back to sleep. To our parents, to the parents of our youth, you have to be models for us. We have to model for our youth, for our children, what is supposed to be our reaction in times like this. We cannot rely solely on the education from our schools and from the media. We see what that produces. Parents, take on the role that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you and entrusted with you to your children, and teach them what they need to be taught. Guide them and show them, give them the path that they can use that energy in the right way. To the rest of the community, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, we look at history and we see always our vision is 20/20 in hindsight, the right versus the wrong. But here you have the opportunity to spread the truth far and wide. Be active. Be the best member of your community that you can be. All of my Muslim brothers and sisters that are not participating in our masajid, that are not active, wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at us individually first, and then, as we know from the Quran, will the change occur outside of us. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. God is not going to change the state of a people until we change the state within ourselves. This is an opportunity for us to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to repent. We have to turn back to Him. We have to become serious. For so long we have been living in luxury, eating and drinking and sleeping. Until when? Until when? How many of our Muslim brothers and sisters have to die before we realize our cause on this earth is more than just that? Please, we all need to be active, and I speak to myself first. Lastly, we learn lessons from the people in Gaza. Lessons of resilience, of reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are looking martyrdom in the eye and they are not turning away. They are looking death in the eye and they are not turning away. And the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is actualizing itself in real time. سَتَتَدَاعَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأُمَمِ. That the nations will look up onto you and gang up onto you, the way that devourers of a feast look on its feast or on its prey. And what does the end of that hadith mention? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in your hearts al-wahn. What is al-wahn? Love of this life and fear of death. It is actualizing itself in real time. Until when are we going to love this life more than we love the next life?
Until when? The people of Gaza and the people of Palestine are showing us lessons that we unfortunately have not paid heed to prior. Take this energy, take this opportunity to be active, to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use us and not to replace us. Allahumma ista'milna wa la tastabdilna. Barakallahu fikum. And next, I apologize, we have Dr. Ubaid is going to speak on behalf of the Muslim Peace Coalition and the November 11th movement. Barakallahu fikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace. For we need this greeting of peace more than ever before. On this day in 1918, the 11th day of the 11th month at 11 a.m., the guns fell silent and were supposed to remain silent forever. Remember, that was the war that was fought to end all wars. We are here on the same day. I represent November 11th movement which we launched. We are here on the same day because we are demanding another ceasefire. Ceasefire to a conflict that arose from that war, that World War I, which took the land from a people who were living there for millennia and gave it to another people under a lie, saying that land without people for people without a land. That was a lie which led to October 7th, which is leading to today when Al-Shifa hospital is being bombed. So that is why we are here today. And I speak to you from this hallowed and sacred ground. Ground made sacred because it is drenched with the blood of the Native Americans. We said to our children that we did a huge mistake and we will never again eradicate a people. We will never again practice racism. What we did to Native Americans was wrong. What we did to the Africans whom we brought in millions, who we killed on the way in Atlantic Ocean, and who killed them after bringing them here, was wrong. This is the greatness of America, that we accepted our mistake. When it comes to Zionism, we forget that mistake. I want to ask, I see that sign there about Kathy Hochul, where is her humanity? I want to ask her, when you have the decency and the moral courage to denounce your European ancestors for committing a genocide here, why are you so scared of the Israeli lobby that you do not say a word? And we are here. So today I'm asking them, I'm asking the political leadership here. Joe Biden, people voted for you because they were afraid of the rising tyranny and fascism in the United States. And you go and you allow fascism. You know October 7 happened because of you. Because to gain the glory of his peace pact, you took two people that you despised, Netanyahu and MBS, and you brought them together to eradicate Palestine forever. And what the Palestinians did was a natural reaction. Anybody would have done that. They did not consult Quran. They saw what Vietnamese did in Tet Offensive. Tet Offensive was a desperate action which changed the course of the Vietnam War. So October 7th was a natural reaction in the second Tet Offensive, Joe Biden. So at least have the decency, because with you, you will take down this country also. People are angry at you in the swing states. They will not vote for you. You will lose. The Democratic Party will lose. Then the Trump will come to power. And it will be the end of America as we see, because Hillary Clinton says so. Do not take my word. So this is my appeal to you, not just for the sake of Palestinians, for the sake of Americans too. Stop this war. Genocide must end. Ceasefire now. And I speak to the fourth estate after speaking up to the first state. The media, you are supposed to be the conscience of the society. You are supposed to keep the government accountable. Yet, you come and you ask us, as if you are an Israeli interrogator, ask us, do you denounce October 7? How dare you? Go there first and cover the genocide that is happening. Would you have asked the descendants of Native Americans, Do you denounce the scalping of whites? They did that because their land was being occupied, their children were being killed, their women were being raped. They reacted. Native Americans did. So did the Palestinians. So how dare you come and ask us, did you go to Israeli supporters here and ask them to denounce Deir Yassin in 1948, massacres and rapes? Did you ask them to denounce the Kibbutz massacre by Sharon, the massacre in Gaza by Sharon, the bombing of the Khana UN compound in Lebanon, the Sabra and Shatila massacres? Did you go to any synagogue and ask them to denounce it? How dare you ask me to come and denounce it? I denounce your media here for failing in your noble, profession. Then I speak to the Jewish community here. I salute the young Jews marching, Jewish Voices for Peace. They are the representative of conscience. But I ask the older people, you and I are in the same rickety boat in America today as the democracy is under attack. You and I are supposed to be with all other minorities together to fight the rising white supremacy. But by supporting Israeli fascism, those parties who were called fascists and terrorists, by supporting them, you are destroying the unity here. Not only are you causing the killing of Palestinians, you are causing the destruction of democracy and your own community here. So wake up, follow the Jewish Voices for Peace and for your own young people. And to the evangelicals, was Jesus a cruel man? How can you allow this genocide? How can you think that God was racist, that he asked the children of Israel to go and commit a massacre in Jericho and to commit that same genocide here? And how hypocritical that you say you love Israel, but you want Israel to be there so that Jesus can come and kill all the Jews in Israel. Can there be something more racist than what you are saying? Stop it for the sake of humanity and for the sake of America. Lastly, I want to speak to you all. Our work has just begun, as Dr. Alia, Reverend Cook and all others said. Do not go back home. Rallies are not an end by themselves. They are means, show their strength. Build alliance in every city. Then go and meet with the local media and the local politician and warn them that you will be defeating them in the next election. Do not go home and do not get distracted. Do not raise slogans which the media will raise and then distract and divert you. Slogans are not important. What is important is the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. The prize is freedom in Palestine and a just and lasting peace there, so that people all over the world can live in peace. So we will continue to march on together, hand in hand. All the people of conscience, whether they be Jews or Hindus or Muslims or Christians, we will march till America, which has been supporting this genocide, this colonization, ends its policy, because without American aid, Israel will not be able to contain its genocidal and apartheid policies. So you are in the trenches. Your weapon is your smartphone, So continue to rally more and more people, recruit them to the cause of justice and peace, and we shall march on till we attain victory. Thank you so much. And ceasefire now. End the genocide. End apartheid. Ceasefire now.
Assalamu alaikum. Just two quick announcements. The front area here is getting a little congested, so if you're on the outside of the caution tape, please remain where you are. If you're on the inside of the caution tape, please remain where you are. We did pick certain children with poignant signs to be on the inside of the tape, but again, we don't want this area to get congested. Second announcement, there was a sister who spoke to myself and Sheikh Yassin towards the beginning of the demonstration. She had contact information for politicians. If that sister is still here, we would like to disseminate that. From Utica, the sister was from Utica. If she is still here, please come find me. I'll be in the corner to my right, so if you are still here, please come find me. We would like to disseminate that information to the demonstrators. Jazakallah khair.
Free, free Palestine!
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 Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terror state. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is an apartheid state. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Within our lifetime. I'll introduce, inshallah, Brother Abdul Rahman Khalidi.
سلام إلى من يحب السلام. سلام إلى من يحب السلام. Peace be to those who love peace. I'm humbled to be standing again in front of you on this Saturday. You loving, peace-loving people. I just want to start by saying you are standing on the right side of history. Let there be no doubt. We unequivocally, unapologetically stand with the people of Gaza. We stand with the people of Palestine without a condition. We love Gaza. You know, this morning I was thinking to myself, which words can we use? There are no more words in the human dictionary that can translate the savagery, the barbarism of the Israeli occupation forces. There are no more words. We have to go to a very dark place to search for those words. But I said, because I go back to when I was 13 years old, in Beirut, in 1982, where 17,000 civilians were massacred by the same planes, by the same army, with the same weapons. Shame on them. At that time I felt, would the world care about me, about my family? So that's why I came here, to say the bells and the takbir of the masajid of Gaza are here. Takbir! I want you to listen to one line of poetry by a Palestinian Jordanian poet said, فليهدموا كل المآذن فوقنا نحن المآذن فاسمعوا التكبير نحن المآذن فاسمعوا التكبير. I want every one of you to feel right now you're making takbir on behalf of all of Gaza. Allahu Akbar. With the killing of 6,000 children, with the killing of 12,000 civilians, and with the deafening silence of the whole world, I want to tell the whole world that this world has changed. We are changed. Don't you ever come to us back to denounce any human rights violation. We don't care. If you don't care about the massacre of 6,000 innocent children in hospitals, in mosques. Why should we care? The world has changed. We shall write and listen and record your reactions. I know there are a lot of Christians and Jews and atheists who will stand against the massacres that are happening in Gaza. We salute you. You are our brothers, and you are our hope in this world. 2 weeks ago, I stood here and I said, my Gaza friend said, how many thousands should the count be before anybody cares in America? And apparently, yesterday, for the first time, Minister Blinken said, at 12,000 death toll, said, maybe Israel has gone too far. Only now, with a maybe. Shame. He's saying that while 5,000 tons of weapons are being sent to the port of Ashdod today in Israel. What is this hypocrisy? What is the bottom of this hypocrisy? We've never seen that. But we shall record it. Because if you ask me to denounce any killing in Europe, I am not going to say it. Because again, it will be a matter of opinion. It will be an intellectual debate. It is not right or wrong anymore. This is what the world has turned into.
Shame on Congress.
Shame on the whole Congress.
Enough with emotions now. I'm going to come to the end. Thank you all for coming here. Because by coming here, the first thing that will change is you. When you go home, you feel that something in your heart has changed. And this is huge. But this is not enough. America is run by lobbyists. And let me tell you the statistics that I read today. The pro-Israeli lobbyists in 2022, you all know, has spent $13 million on lobbying. But what is more important, they paid for 304 congressional races. You know, the total number of congressional seats is 435. The Israeli, pro-Israeli lobby has paid for 304. That's 70% of all congressional seats. Don't be surprised, even if congressmen stand here with you and they nod their head. When they go back to Washington, they're going to vote yes to $14 billion of more weaponry to Israel. The call to you, like Sister Ali and others, take the emotions out. It's about time that Muslims in the capital district ally with all peace-loving people, African Americans, Latinos, Council of Churches, Jews for Peace. We have to have a voice and we have to back it. At the end, I'll say the following. The late Prime Minister of Israel, Golda Meir, was asked, what is the future of Israel? She said, don't be worried. All the men shall die, and their children shall forget. Golda, wherever you are, I want to have news to you. Old men have martyred, but their sons are alive. Palestine is alive, and you are dead. Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Allahu Akbar! Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Inshallah, our next speaker will be Brother Ahmed Abu Hakma. Dr. Ahmed Abu Hakma.
Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm of the opinion that after Brother Abdurrahman's speech, he should have just dropped the mic and we should have stopped there. I have the very unenviable task of having to follow him up. You know, there's another protest going on today in Washington, D.C., organized by the Zionist lobby, and they're paying people $250 to go and support.
Shame on them.
Shame on them.
We don't need to do that. All we need to do is show up with your consciousness and with your moral compass, with a WhatsApp message or a text, and you'll come. You change your weekend plans to be here. Now I want to comment on this because we've been doing this for over a month now. And perhaps we will experience a little fatigue. Perhaps we will experience a little bit of hopelessness over what the reality is over there. But what I want to say is a couple things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God has a long lens for justice. Great Britain, that precipitated this ethnic cleansing and genocide and massacre, is no longer great.
Alhamdulillah.
And the oppression that is being put down on the Palestinians, from land theft to forcible removal from their homes, generationally, to starving them, to massacring them, to killing them, to controlling what the public opinion is, will not continue. It cannot continue. We may not see it. Our parents may have passed away and not seen justice or the light at the end of the tunnel, but that end of the tunnel is there. Whether or not we see it, it will be seen. That is the promise.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, we will see it. Couple more things. Talking to our friends in Gaza, one of my friends comments to me, I spoke to my sister about the food that they're given. She said, والله الوجبات اللي بعطونا إياهن للأهل بكفوش واحد. The food that they give us for a family is not enough for one person. It's not enough for a single person. Think about that. Speaking to my relatives in the West Bank, they're economically landlocked. They have no work. They have no school. Friends that want to send them money via Western Union are not allowed to do that. There are mysteriously walls preventing them from sending money to support people from starving. How's my family in Jerusalem doing? I don't know. Because they can't say anything. Their lines are tapped. Perhaps you've seen videos of a woman being arrested because she liked a post with a Palestinian flag on it. I don't know how some of my family's doing. And that is the very least of the struggle. It doesn't even touch the tip of the iceberg as to what's happening in Palestine and Gaza. I mentioned the thing about the food not being enough for something very important for us to reflect on. As the natural inclination of once this adrenaline subsides to lose energy, maybe we need to reinforce our tactics. Maybe we need to think about our tactics a little differently. When you go home today, don't think about eating out. Don't think about a big luxurious dinner. Have something very simple. Or maybe skip your meal. And when you have food, thank God for the food that's in front of you. Maybe we need to fast a little bit more. Maybe we need to invite our brothers and sisters in faith and in other walks of life. Fast with us. Feel what the people of Gaza are feeling. And that's just the food. Maybe when it's time to sleep, you fold up your mattress and you sleep on the ground with everyone in your family in the same room. Maybe as the winter comes in, you turn your heat down a little bit. Feel the cold. Feel the hunger. And when that anger inside of you comes in, because you want food, understand the anger that the people are facing over there. A father and mother that can't feed their child. A father and mother that can't bury their child. A father and mother that write the name of their child on their arm in case that arm is separated from their body. So you know who that child is. And I know many people did that today. So in closing, what I will say is very simple. This is a long journey. We know from our teachings, you need provisions to go on this journey. Those provisions are not luxurious food. It is not having a very comfortable life. It is getting used to the bare minimum you need and getting to work. You eat what you need when you need to eat, not when you want to eat. And you work hard. Maybe some of that extra food needs to feed some of the people in our communities here. Maybe some of our comfort needs to be sacrificed to alleviate the struggles of the people here and to support people who are suffering in other parts of the world. I said this before, and I think it's very relevant, and I will say it again. Again, every child in the front, every child in the front, every child in the audience, please pay close attention. I'm not going to name you one by one, but I need you to pay close attention. You will liberate Palestine. Inshallah. Every single one of you. Inshallah. I see young men and women standing in front of me who, when your teacher spews anti-Muslim garbage in the classroom, you are going to courageously and in a dignified way reply to that teacher. And when they come to bully you, you are going to hold your resolve and speak words of truth to power. I see people who are going to go in front of their elected officials and demand that justice be served. I see young people who are going to call for a ceasefire an end to the genocide, a flow of the humanitarian aid, real aid, and a lift to the decades-long occupation, and to treat people with dignity, once and for all. Young brothers and sisters, please listen. When you do this, you will perhaps question yourself. You will perhaps want to quit. You will perhaps feel like so many people have a different opinion than you. Know that you will be on the right side of history if you are on the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are with God, if you are fighting for what is right, you don't need the millions of people saying the other things. This country was on the wrong side of history with Vietnam. This country was on the wrong side of history when it invaded and destroyed Iraq. And this country, unfortunately, is on the wrong side of history here once again. And the will of the people in this country is changing day by day and does not reflect what the elected officials are saying. Continue to be part of that critical mass that changes the narrative, and let the people of Palestine live freely, and let you be the vehicle that liberates them once and for all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Not a nickel, not a dime! Not a nickel, not a dime! No more money for Israel's crimes! No more money for Israel's crimes! No tax dollars! No tax dollars! For baby slaughter! For baby slaughter! No tax dollar! No tax dollar! For baby slaughter! For baby slaughter! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terror state!
Biden, we see! Biden, we see! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Biden, we'll see! Biden, we'll see! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
Our next speaker is Brother Ashar from the Clifton Park Masjid, Mr. Al-Arqam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah. So I'm
Allahu Akbar!
Allahu Akbar! Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Allahu Akbar! So I'm here. There are a lot of people here speaking on behalf of various masajids, various organizations. I'm here to speak as a parent, as a taxpayer, because we can come and scream and shout, and it will pacify us. But the action only happens when the politicians, when the people in the buildings behind us, when those in Washington DC, they hear us. And how do they hear us? By our votes. By our votes. So we have to make sure that our rallies are followed up by our action. And when we are talking to them, what we are doing by gathering here is actually talking to them. And what do we want to tell them? We want to tell them that we want ceasefire. We want ceasefire now. But why do we want it? They need to hear why do we want it. Just imagine and look around you. We are here in the capital district, and I was looking at the area of our neighboring counties. It's about 650 square miles, and we are about 0.87 million people here. On the Gaza Strip, it's 1/5 the size, and there are 5 times more people living there, and in a week, they are experiencing 6,000 bombs dropped on them every week. Just imagine one bomb here in this area. Just imagine that. Those people are experiencing 6,000 bombs every week.
And that's what we need to talk to our politicians about, that this cannot happen on our taxpayer dollars. Every time we want to start this dialogue, the first question that's asked to us is, would you condemn? And you know what they want to condemn, what they want us to condemn. We can condemn, and I can promise you that every person here is ready to condemn any innocent life that Hamas or any other such organization is killing. But we are not funding Hamas. We are funding the US government. We are funding the Israeli government. Therefore, we are responsible for the actions of the US government. We need to make sure that our politicians here, that we want ceasefire now. We want ceasefire now. The second thing the politicians need to hear is to understand the extent of the size of this calamity that's happening in Gaza. Of all the recent Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these places that you hear in the news in the recent times, the current deaths of children is far exceeds. The number of deaths of children per day exceeds big time. Because I was looking at the stats, the deaths of Iraq, that happened in Iraq and in Afghanistan and Syria and Yemen and Ukraine is 0.3 kids per day, 1.2 kids per day. For Gaza, it's 136 kids per day. 136 kids per day. Look at your kids right now and count that kid amongst them and feel the pain. And we want our politicians, our colleagues, our good people that we work with, every one of us works in a place with good American people. We need them to hear this. We need them to know these numbers. 136 kids per day. Just to put it in context of what that number means, there was something that happened in this country and the entire country stopped. What was that? 20 kids killed in one day. Sandy Hook. Everyone knows Sandy Hook. What's happening in Gaza is 20 Sandy Hooks every day. 20 Sandy Hooks every day. So that's what they need to hear. And we need to take a pledge that until our politicians stand up for the rights of the Palestinians, we will not vote for them. We will not vote for them because that's the only language they understand. So I want everyone here to take a pledge that in 2024, we will not vote for anyone who does not stand for the rights of the Palestinians. We will not vote for anyone who will not stand for the rights of the Palestinians. Never. Because this cannot happen again and again and again. So again, cease fire now, cease fire now, cease fire now. Cease fire now. And in the end, I want to thank all the brothers and sisters who have traveled from the neighboring cities to join this to this rally. May Allah reward you for that.
Free, free Palestine! 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 From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Palestine will never die! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Palestine will never die! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Palestine will never die! I'm going to steer you away a little bit, and this is something that is now going to be popular among a lot of people. So the first thing that I want to mention is, these politicians, they work for us. Remember that. We are the employers, they are the employees. They work for us. Remember that. But you know what? We're not doing our job. We're not registering to vote. Let me tell you a fact.
AIPAC has a success rate of over 90%. You know what that means? Every candidate they pick is going to win. They got the money, we got the people. They got the money, we got the people. Repeat that. They got the money, we got the people. But we don't have the people if you don't register to vote. It is your responsibility. A lot of us take this as a privilege. It was mentioned earlier. If you were to talk to somebody from certain countries, they would hang up the phone because they cannot say a word. God is going to ask you about this privilege that many of us, we take it for granted. I don't care what background you come from. I don't care if you were born here or you migrated to this country. God has given you a right and you're abusing it. If you come out and I have been personally to many protests, but little has changed. AIPAC is working 24/7. AIPAC is working every single day. We come out of our comfort zones once, twice, 3 times a year, and we expect change. Change is not going to happen. They know that. Politicians, they will know that. They will call you a day before the election, and they sweet talk you into voting for them because they know who you are. They know that you're just going to be emotional for 1, 2, 3 days, and you're going to go back to the norm. Palestine's reality is not a yesterday reality. It's not an October 7th reality. It's even before 1948. It outdates most of us in this place today. So we have no right to come out today, or even the days that we came out before, and go back once the ceasefire is in place. That is the worst betrayal we're actually going to have. What we're telling our brothers and sisters in Palestine is be quiet as you're being killed every single day. Look at the data, look at the numbers. The numbers that might be highlighted today because we're getting to see it, but the numbers are there every single day. Children are being killed in Palestine, in the West Bank, in Gaza. They're being killed all over the place in Palestine. The land is being taken away. The settlements, they're not pausing. We might be asking for a ceasefire, but how about the settlements? You know, let me tell you about a fact. Today is Veteran Day. And we had the parade going up and down the streets. How many of you have thought about this? Maybe, just maybe, they passed by a veteran who's homeless in a bus stop right there. And they did not even pay attention to that veteran. When it comes to passing these bills, when we ask them to pass bills to help those who are homeless, they have to debate. They spend days and days, and those bills do not even go through. And our own veterans are homeless. How about we take that money that we're sending over to kill innocent people and actually build homes for those who actually need them? It's our money. Remember, we are the employers. They are the employees. They work for us. How about the education? When it comes to education, as an educator myself, I can tell you, we need a lot of money. As somebody who's trying to pay off his student loan, somebody who's in debts, and you take my tax money and you send it over to kill people when it comes to even for just a break into my bill so I can spend on my family. You tell me you have to debate and that bill doesn't even go through? How about that? How about we bring our money back and invest it back in our own communities? How about we do that? This year alone, $20 billion being sent over, and they will be dropped in the form of bombs on civilians, on non-combatants in Gaza. Our money. The United States is not supporting this fight. The United States is an active part of this fight. We are responsible for what's going on in Palestine. Let that sink in. We're not sitting aside and voting on things. We are literally giving the weapons. We're sending our own people over there to participate in this. And we have to fire our employees. But we cannot fire them if we do not use our voices. We have to make sure that we use our voices. Another thing I'm going to tell you, stay away from luxury. Hold yourselves as accountable. The boycott works. The boycott works. Make sure that it's a long-term goal. It's not something that you're doing now and again when the ceasefire is in place. You go back to Starbucks. You go back to McDonald's. You buy your Pepsi. or wherever you're going. Make sure that you are committed, because that's the promise that we actually owe to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. And boycotting, it doesn't just take money away from them. People will choose not to work for them. The other employees and employers, they will be looking. Businesses will be looking. They know that we have the power. We have the people when it comes to elections. But when it comes to money, we also have the power. We can tell businesses that be careful. Choose the right cause to be supporting. We're only asking to save people's lives. We're not asking for more. So make sure that you use your money. Make sure that you use your voice, because we owe it to them. And let me conclude with this. I know it was mentioned earlier that we have to watch the videos. We have to look at the pictures, and I encourage that. But I want you to think about something. If you're looking for faith, faith is not here. Faith is in Gaza. If you want to look for bravery, bravery is not here. Bravery is in Gaza. If you want to look for leadership, leadership is not here. Leadership is in Gaza. If you want to look for steadfast, steadfast is not here. Steadfast is in Gaza. In the women who are giving birth to these shuhada. In the men and women who are bearing their children and saying, we're not leaving home, this is our home. These are the people who are teaching us how to live life. Continue to learn from them. But don't be just students who just sit and watch. Be students who walk behind their teachers. For our teachers there, they will continue to lead. But it's a decision that we have to make, if whether we're going to follow or not. May God bless all of you who are here today. Make sure they are organized. Make sure that you are going to identify your allies. I always say this, we are the minor majority. We are a minor majority. We are the majority in this country, but we have a mindset of a minority. That's why we're not making change. Change that. Make sure that we stand for who we are. We are the majority of this country, and that has to be reflected in the Capitol Hill. Thank you. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Not sure if Biden can hear you. Free, free Palestine!
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 Inshallah ta'ala, we are trying to conclude this event and do some marching, but we have a guest who came all the way from Poughkeepsie, Sheikh Ukasha. Inshallah, for 1 or 2 minutes, would like to share with us something. Sheikh Ukasha is here. Please come. He's an imam of masjid in Poughkeepsie. Free, free Palestine!
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 Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
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 People on the back are not saying anything. I can see them. Let's see. On the back, on the back. Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
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 Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
تفضل شيخ.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبد الله ورسوله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. This I want to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to our non-Muslim constituents and friends, Salam ala man tiba al-huda. Peace be on the one who follows the guidance. This was the greeting of our noble prophet to those people who were not Muslim, because he cared about everybody. And just for the record, I'm blind. I'm an African American who accepted Islam 31 years ago. The Almighty has blessed me before I lost my vision 7 years ago due to glaucoma and retinal detachment to study in Yemen for 10 years and Egypt for 3.5. Unlike the stereotypes that most African Americans have a felony, most African Americans are criminal, the Almighty blessed me to escape that. I don't have a felony, I'm not a criminal, I'm a citizen of this country. And our forefathers, many of them, contrary to the lack of true history, many of our forefathers were Muslim. Many of the people that came here that we understand were standing on their shoulders were people who believed in the prophets and messengers. They believed in Isa, Jesus, the son of Mary. They believed in Moses. They believed in all of those prophets, all the way back to the first one, Adam, our father, alayhi salam. They also believed in the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So the fact that people forget one of the things that makes this country great is that the Constitution, you can go to the Library of Congress and see this, to this day, was mostly drafted from a copy of the Quran in Arabic, meaning the real Quran, not translation, the Quran, along with this translation by Thomas Jefferson. It's in the Library of Congress right now. So when we talk about liberty, freedom, justice, equality, that's written in stone from our Lord. That's the core of all of the revelations. And the last one to humanity, the Quran, in the way of our noble prophet. So when we talk about this issue that's happening in Gaza, only because you guys can see it. It hurts my stomach when I hear it, but you guys can see it, it's magnified. And the hypocrisy that this regime of Zionism didn't start with those Zionists. The issue that we're talking about didn't start with 75 years. What's happening? And may I remind you, a holy land. It started long before that. It started long before that. And for us as African Americans, no disrespect intended, normally we don't get the mic on these issues. Normally it's the people we say for identification purposes, no disrespect intended, it's the foreigners. But we have a voice that we don't use because we've been indoctrinated to think it's not from the way of our prophet. It's not sunnah to protest, to demonstrate. And it's not from the sunnah of the prophet. He didn't need to protest because he had revelation. In wahyun yuha, he had revelation revealed to him. The companions didn't need to protest. They were with the best of creation. But when you talk about seeing the evil, that all of the scriptures Allah mentioned those evils. When you talk about seeing the evil, as our prophet said, men ra'a minkum munkaran fayaghayyiruhu biyadihi. Whosoever from amongst you sees the evil, let him change it with his hand. Hold those signs up high. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free courts! Free courts! That's changing it with your hand. And if you can't do it, you may be unable. If you can't do it, circumstances might not allow you. Then change it with your tongue. The prophet told us that. The voice matters. And the prophet also told us, Inna min al-bayan as-sihr. Some speech is so deceptive, but you believe it. The voice, it matters. And if you can't change it with your tongue, some circumstance may prevail. Yes, people are afraid. If you have a 38 and they have a Uzi, who's gun the biggest? Fear is real. Stop denigrating your Muslim leaders. Not all of them have sold out. Not all of them have a